Alright, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you've heard a lot of these tips, but I've tried to combine all the best of together in one video now. So first, I want to start by where you should drop. You need to drop in a high loot, but also an area where you can get a lot of vehicles. So look at this map. Just search in Pubg maps and you'll find this and study that map. The next tip, I want you to always keep yourself full on health. You need to use energy drinks in the first half of the game and save your painkillers for the second half of the game. If you don't already know this, you can actually use a grenade to ride a vehicle back up onto its wheels. So, alright, the other tip is you need to loot buildings very fast. The faster you can loot a building, you can get onto the next building and get more loot. And be prepared for more firefights. You can maximize your time. So you need to practice and practice and practice on looting quicker. I always loot in circles. I try to stay all the way to the right or all the way to the left. And I also try to know which building am I going to go to after this one. That way I'll finish at maybe a window or a door where I can get out quickly. Now I was able to loot this entire building in 36 seconds. Now partly some of that is due to I already had some of the weapons that I already needed and wanted. The next tip, I always suggest to people, if you want to win chicken dinners, drive to the center of the third circle. You sometimes can do the fourth, depending on how many people are around and how safe that area is. But I did this tactic in this map and got a 10-kill chicken dinner. Alright, here's a few clips of just all the chicken dinners that I've gotten. I wanted to show that to you. So these are kind of my credentials here. And this isn't even all of them. These are just the ones I pulled for this. Next part I'd like you to think about is what kind of a player are you? Are you an assaulter? Are you a supporter? Or are you a sniper? So I consider myself more of an assaulter. That's why I had actually 2 AKs on me at that moment. Just in case I got into a firefight, I didn't have to reload. Now obviously I didn't hang on to that AK for the whole game. But right here, what way I'm playing is I'm the assaulter, my partner is a sniper, and he's getting the attention of this guy that we knew who was shooting at us, little bridge camper. So that way I'm able to come and make the assault him do the push while he was covering me. So like I said, I want you to master the short range, and we'll get into how to master the short range a little bit more. But you also need to make a priority of keeping your own teammates alive. You keep them alive, they'll keep you alive. So right here, we're going across the bridge. We've got some bridge campers. I lost control of the car. And this is where I was talking about. If you're going to be an assaulter or support, you need to master the hip fire and third-person aiming perspective. When you revive somebody, what I want you to do is you got to position your camera where you can watch your back. So that's what I did here. So I could watch to see if this guy tried to get us. And he did, and I was able to take him out. Right here I'm using the third-person aiming, but I'm popping in and out of cover to take him out. Think of that. Think of using structure to save your life. The other thing I do right here is, or what I'm suggesting is, get familiar with all types of weapon types. I had 1 grenade on me, and I was able to down this guy. I had nothing else at all. So I'm able to just punch him to death and then take his loot. All right, let me get back into how to become a better assaulter / support player. So if you're a third-person perspective player, you probably want to consider using the controller style type A. If you're first person, then I would suggest probably type B, because that's going to be closer to what first person shooters use. But for third person perspective, you really don't want to use sights and optics that much. You want to just use your crosshairs that are there, because you need to be fast and mobile, especially if you're an assaulter. You can't be a slow player. So I also recommend using an elevated thumbstick on your controller. I use the Elite and I elevate it on my right thumbstick. So I have my sensitivity to like a 7 or a 10. I'm about to show my sensitivity settings to you. I've shown this in the past, but I just wanted to put it up back on here so you know what it was like. I have changed these. I used to have everything maxed out at a 10, but I just brought everything back down when I'm in the optics, and I actually do think it has helped me a little bit. All right, back to killing. So avoid shooting people in their armor if you're about to loot them. So if you're a sniper, you need to be able to pop in and pop out and get back to cover as quick as possible, because as soon as you shoot, people are going to start looking to see where you're at. So I don't have a ton of tips for sniping because it's not my thing, but assaulting is my thing. So right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until the person is either reloading or healing. Then I'm going to rush up there as fast as I can, check my right, and then immediately go to my left and get the kill. So like I said, you have to be quick. Now if you noticed, he was watching the stairs the whole time. He was probably using his iron sights or optics, and he couldn't track me. Same with these guys. I'm moving so fast, they're not able to keep up with me. And that's all due to the hip fire and third-person aiming. Alright, so if you're going to be an assaulter or a support player, here's my recommendations for guns. You're going to make your primary gun your M4 or a SCAR or an M16. For your secondary, you're going to want to use an AKM with a compensator or a DP28 or a Tommy gun. Probably in about that order, but it kind of depends. I might use the DP28 or the Tommy gun early in the game, but I definitely like to have an AKM late in the game. The reason why is I need a little bit more accuracy with that AKM. The other thing I want you to start thinking about doing before you get into vehicle to travel, you need to have a DP28 out or Tommy gun, have it fully reloaded, have it set to full auto. When you get into situations like this, you have to be able to jump out and take on people quickly. You could even do burst if you happen to have an M16, but you just need to make sure that you can shoot quickly in case something happens while you're driving. So right here, there were so many of them. Our guys were getting hurt. They threw a flashbang at us, so that reminded me, hey, let me just throw a grenade back at them. Gave them a little nade sandwich, and we finished that whole group off. So like I said, early in the game, Tommy gun or DP28 is great for situations like this. The reason why is because if you run into a group of duos or a group of squad, you're going to need to be able to take out multiple people at once. You need something with a lot of bullets that can put out a lot of damage. See, even with the Tommy gun with extended quick draw mag, I was able to take two guys out with one clip. So that's kind of why I recommend having, especially early on in the game. Late in the game, maybe you don't need it quite so much. It'll be more rare that you'll run into, so many people at one time. So you need to be careful when you down a team player. So they downed my guy, so I wanted to make sure that they lost their at least two guys. So that's why I go ahead and finish those guys off. But sometimes, I might let that slide. If they haven't killed one of my people, I may not go after theirs. So think about that. Other people may be thinking the same way. That's why I just go ahead and finish that guy off. So now I know they've at least lost 3 of their 4. But I guess my limit is only 3. But still, that was a good run with that Tommy gun. So right here, we're making use of our different roles. I'm allowing the mid to long range players grab the attentions of this guy, so I'm able to sneak up, flank him, come up behind him, take him out, and then move on. So I go ahead and finish the job, so we're so spread out because I don't know where everyone's at right now. So I had heard gunshots coming from behind that wall, so I'm running over here as fast as I can, just take a peek. And then when I noticed that that boat had pulled up ashore, that's where I figured out, oh, that's how they got here. So I find the guy behind the wall. So snipers, whenever you shoot, try to make that very first shot a headshot. That will help take them out a little bit quicker. So I just paused here for a moment because we knew they had, another person around. And there he is, found him. He goes down too. All right, so this is the end of another match. What we've done, we've gotten to the center of this last circle. There was one little building, but it was time for us to get out. There, we knew there were 3 of us, only 2 of them, and we watched this one guy going behind that little shed over there. So when we decided, if we all 3 assault this guy, we have a better shot of taking him out. So I threw that smoke to give us cover as we ran through the field and hopefully distract him a little bit. He had moved up to this rock. The team converges on him. I didn't get the kill. Thank goodness he was about to down me. Teammate steps up and makes that kill. All right, so when you get to a situation like this and you know there's just 1 person left or 2 people left or something and they're hiding, they're not coming out. What I do in situations like this is the most common spot, I mean, they could be in the grass, but they also could be in the bushes. So if you start shooting bushes randomly and you see a little bit of blood splatter, you know where they're at. So I think that me shooting scared that guy. I didn't know where he was at, but he started firing. And it got him a little antsy. I think he thought we knew where he was at. So as soon as he takes out Striker, we were able to see his gunfire. And look how close I was to getting that guy the first time around. But look at this. 1 kill. 1 kill is all you need to win in this game. I wanted you guys to see that. I left that in there just for this video. Another thing I want to tell you guys, I want you to adjust the settings on your television. The sharpness specifically. If you can bring the sharpness down on your TV, it almost looks like it starts to remove some of the anti-alias that's in the grass and on the trees and on the leaves. And it's actually it makes it easier to see movement in this game. Give that a shot. Play with that. Those settings are there and it'll help you out. Anyways, back to assaulting. So right here, if you think that person is doing something, you got to push them. I pushed that guy as fast as I could. I had a lot of room to cover, but I don't think he thought I was going to come this way because it was so far. But I was able to push and get him. Now right here, what I want you to do is watch the building. You see that gunfire? As soon as I saw that bullet hit right there, I knew that wasn't the person I was attacking. It was a sniper trying to get me. So I tried to retreat, and I see another bullet, so I had to retreat again. So in this game, think of it, snipers have a really hard time hitting moving objects. It's on PC, I'm sure it's a totally different thing, but Xbox, it's not. I mean, watch me trying to shoot this guy. I mean, that medium to long range is difficult with a controller. So I was able to get the kill, but it was just kind of sloppy. So my other tip, and a bunch of my videos I've said this, but like I said, I wanted to compile my top 10 tips. Don't shoot when you're in the top 10, unless you have to. This guy shoots. I hear him. I know he's right behind me. I was almost about to run right in front of that guy, and he could have shot me in the back. If he had not shot, he would have, he would have won. Anyways, if you're going to be a grass snake, it's good to just go ahead and take off your backpack and lay on the grass. I'm not a grass snake, though. I like to follow the circle, follow the edge. And that way, you can weed out grass snakes and tree snakes. Anyways, these are some of my top tips. I hope this video helps you guys out a lot. If you have any questions or any other tips, let me know. If you like this video, please give me a like, subscribe. If you didn't like this video, don't do anything.